Now it's time for us to get together and enjoy the lovely words and phrases of the English language. With you every Sunday live from 2, with lots of fun. And all the words and phrases of the English language. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat and discover all the words and phrases of the English language. Learn together and have fun. Listen and laugh, it really can be done. Your learning journey has just begun. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat and discover all the words and phrases of the English language. Learn together and have fun.
We have a sunny day today, sunshine, very few clouds, but only 18 Celsius. It is starting to feel as if summer is going away. Here we are together again once more. It's nice to see you here. Yes, this is English Addict, coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language. You know where it is, I know where it is, we all know where it is. Come on, Mr. Duncan, get on with it. We haven't got all day.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
We are having fun. Fun, 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 fun. That is the name of the game. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Do you have one of these on your face right now? I hope you do. We are back together. I am very excited to be with you today for many reasons. First of all, the most important reason is I get the chance to talk to you live. There are not many people on YouTube who do this. Not many English teachers will come onto YouTube and teach live, talk live. One of the main reasons, of course, is because it's not easy to do. It is very difficult to actually do this. Some people say, Mr. Duncan, is it easy doing live streams? And I have to say to you, it is not easy. There are always problems, technical problems, things connected to your computer or camera. Things quite often will go wrong. Talking of technical things, today I have decided to try and broadcast my live stream in full 1080p. So we are actually broadcasting today in full high definition, something I haven't done for a very long time. So all I can say is I hope it works well. Coming up today, we have a lot of things to talk about. We have, of course, the English language. It is the star of the show. I am not the star. You are the star of the show. And of course, the English language is why we are all here together today. It's very nice to be with you. And of course, I am now 19 days into my 60th year. Yes, it is official. On the 12th of August, I became 60. I am now over 60. And it's interesting, already I'm noticing things that are happening to me. Just a few days after turning 60, I've already noticed I have difficulty doing certain things. For example, I find it rather hard, rather difficult to bend over for things. It's true. If I drop something on the floor and I have to bend down to pick it up, I find it very, very difficult. I don't know what's happened. It's almost as if my body knows that I'm over 60. So I bend down and, it's very painful in my back. I can feel all of the muscles protesting and complaining. So that's one of the things I've noticed. And also the other thing I've noticed, this morning I was in the studio making some slight repairs over there, and I had to kneel down on the ground, and I noticed that kneeling down was also very hard to do. My knees have suddenly become weak and feeble since turning 60. I don't know what it is, but to be honest with you, and I will be honest, it has been a long time since I've done this. I haven't knelt down for a very long time. You kneel on your knees. The past tense of kneel is knelt. You kneel, you knelt. This morning I knelt on the floor, and to be honest with you, it was a little bit difficult. So already I am feeling as if my body is starting to resist and complain after turning 60 a few days ago. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here today. We have a lot of things to talk about. We are talking about flags. You might notice behind me, you might see a couple of flags behind me on the screen right now. We are talking about those because here in England, flags have been in the news quite a lot over the past few days. And the reason is because a lot of people have started putting up the England flag all over the place. It has become a big news story here in England. You may have heard about it as well. What is it about flags? Why are flags so popular, but also quite often hated as well at the same time? So we are talking about that. Also, a few weeks ago I went on holiday. Well, in fact, it was just 2 weeks ago I came back from my lovely holiday. We went to Italy, and of course we went by plane. Flying is a very popular form of travel. You may have noticed a lot of people like to take the plane, even if they are travelling within their own country. Maybe they are only going from city to city within their own country. Quite often people these days will fly. Sometimes it is quicker to fly than travel by car. Sometimes it is cheaper as well, because driving has become such an expensive thing, especially as the price of fuel has gone up. A lot of people have found it is actually cheaper, it is actually better value to travel by plane rather than drive the car. I find those things rather fascinating, to say the least. English Addict is with you, and yes, we are talking about flying today. We are looking at the good things about flying and the bad things, the negative things about flying as well. You might say that there are pros, which means good things, and cons, which means the bad things, the things that are not so good. That is what we are talking about today. Of course, I must not forget you out there in YouTube land. We have the live chat. Oh, very interesting. A lot of people already joining today. Beatrice, congratulations. Guess what? You are first on today's live chat. Very, very good. Congratulations to you. Also, of course, we have Vitas is here as well. We have Paco. Hello, Paco. Where are you watching at the moment? I am always interested to find out where you are watching. Wherever you are watching in the world, please say hello. Also we have, oh yes, he is here, the one, the only, Luis Mendez is here today. Hello Luis, nice to see you back as well. So many people joining in. Each week we have more and more people watching my live stream. And it is always nice to see you here. Francesca is here. Also we have Maurizio is watching as well. And we have Palmyra. We have Ismail. Hello, Ismail's Academia. It is nice to see you here today. I'm just wondering why you call yourself that. Maybe you have your own school, or perhaps you are studying a certain subject. Maria is here. Anitha is also here. So many people joining today. It is always nice to see you here. Marianne is also with us today, joining us live, as live can be. Hello, Aziz. Aziz. It's nice to see you joining in as well. Nguyen Kung is here. I have a feeling you are watching in Vietnam. Am I right? Because I do have lots and lots of people watching in Vietnam. Giuseppe is here. Hello to you. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you are ready to listen and learn as we look at the English language, because this is English Addict with you every Sunday.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
Yes, that is the reason why we are here. That is why we are here on such a beautiful day. We have sunshine, we have blue skies. Even though the temperature is now starting to drop, it does feel as if soon we will be saying goodbye to summer. And of course today we are saying goodbye to August, because August is coming to an end. What a brilliant month it has been. We had lots of adventures in Italy. We also celebrated my birthday. And of course this month is, I suppose I would say that August is when we say goodbye to summertime as well. As September arrives tomorrow, we will start thinking about the end of the year. It always happens. I was watching television last night and someone was selling Christmas decorations. As you can probably imagine, I was not happy about that, because I think it's too early to start talking about Christmas. We shouldn't be talking about Christmas yet. It's too early. So September starts tomorrow, of course. Today is also the anniversary of the sad death of Princess Diana. I can't believe it is 28 years since that happened. 28 years? I can't believe it. So that is another anniversary that is taking place today, a rather sad anniversary. And I have noticed in this country we hardly talk about it anymore. Very few people talk about Princess Diana anymore in this country. She has almost been forgotten. But today is the sad anniversary, I suppose you would describe it. Hello, Hamza. Nice to see you here as well. So many people joining in. Thank you very much. Antonio Castigo. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I am joining you from Mozambique. I have to say, and I think I can honestly say, I don't think I've ever had anyone watching in Mozambique. So can I say a big hello to you? I suppose really that deserves a round of applause. It does. Watching from so far away, it's incredible. Lovely, lovely to see so many people here today. Chris Mirlo Ginu, I hope I pronounce your name right, says 28 years ago. I can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it either. I can't believe it's 28 years since it happened. It is incredible. Nice to see so many people here today. Of course, as I said, I was on my holidays a few days ago. We had a wonderful trip to Italy. And for those who missed the video that I showed last week, here it is right now. Amazing. What a super time we had during our trip to Italy. Amazing. And yes, I think it is safe to say we will be going back there again, even though Mr. Steve did have a few very dramatic moments whilst driving around, as I mentioned last week. Can I say hello to... Oh, very interesting. Can I say hello to... Oh, there was a message here and now it's disappeared. Oh, there it is. Hello, Christina. We have lots of Christinas watching. Hello, Christina, watching in Romania. A big hello to you as well. Very nice to see you as well. Hamza is in Morocco, a place I've always wanted to go to. I will be honest with you, it is a part of the world that I've always been fascinated by. Giuseppe says, maybe, Mr. Duncan, you should visit Sicily because I am Sicilian. Well, we are planning on going back to Italy, maybe next year, maybe the year after. We will have to see what happens. But I think I can safely say that we will be going back to Italy in the future. I think so. Hello, Jack John. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan's... Oh, I see. I've been watching you since 2008, says Jack John. It's very nice to see you here, Jack. Can I call you Jack? Is it okay? Talking of which, I have just behind me the Union Jack. Can you see it? It is a type of flag, and it is something that is displayed in this country. Today we are looking at flags. We are going to discuss the reason why people have flags. Some people love flags very much. Other people do not like flags. They see them as something that divides people or separates people. And that is what we are doing right now. First of all, I suppose we should look at ways of using flags. Normally flags are things that are put on display as a way of representing one's own nation. We are looking at the world of flags, the ways of using the word flag. And there is a particular reason why I am talking about flags today. So there is a definite reason for me doing it. First of all, what is a flag? Generally speaking, a flag is an emblem or sign, normally printed or sewn onto a piece of cloth. So when we think about flags, normally and quite often, we will think of something that is flying, something that is put up, something that is displayed as a way of representing one's own nation. And this brings me on to something that has been happening right here in England over the past 2 or 3 weeks. In fact, I think it started around about a couple of months ago. But now many people have got involved with this particular activity. Here in England, many people have been putting up England flags. And I suppose it's worth mentioning that there is a difference between the flag of England and also the one you can see behind me there. So that particular flag is the Union Jack. And then you can see another one just behind me there. That is the England flag. So they are actually 2 different types of flag, although both of them are normally flown here in this country. So over the past month or a couple of months, people have been flying England flags. They have been putting them up on lampposts. So if you drive around England, maybe if you go to a large town or a large city, you might see lots of these flags flying around the streets. People have been putting them up on their own. So this hasn't been done by the government or any large organisation. It's just people deciding that they want to start putting England flags all over the place. There is a reason for it, of course. They've also been painting them as well. Literally painting the England flag on traffic islands. So maybe you are driving around, you might see flags on the lampposts. You might also see them painted as well, people are going out at night and they are painting the England flag on the roads. They've even been painting them on zebra crossings, and there you can see a type of pedestrian crossing that we have here in England, and people have been painting the flag on the white squares that are designed to help people cross the road safely. But why, Mr. Duncan? Why are people doing this? Well, it is being done by certain groups of people as a sign of patriotism. They call themselves patriots. They are saying that they are doing it because they love England so much. So there is a kind of history that goes with the reason for this particular thing happening at the moment. We often talk about patriotism as a person who has a deep love or affection for their own country. A person who is loyal to their own country might be described as a patriot. You belong to your country. You feel as if that is a very important part of your life. You feel as if you belong to that place. So you might say that what is happening at the moment is a sign of patriotism, although not everyone agrees with that. Not all people see it that way. Not everyone enjoys that nationalistic way of behaving. Some people see it as a bad thing. Some people view it as a type of symbol that divides people, splits people up. So it is not being welcomed by everyone. Let's just say there are people who don't feel very comfortable or happy with this type of patriotism. Flags are sometimes seen as divisive. Something that is divisive is something that can split people up. Groups of people who are normally together might actually be divided by a certain thing, a certain opinion, a certain point of view, the way one group feels. Maybe another group disagrees. Sometimes those groups will join together, or they will split and become separate. It happens, especially when we start talking about national identity. It can be something that is divisive. The word divisive, something used for a certain purpose, often to create division or social unrest. So a thing that is dividing people, something used to create anxiety, worry, disagreement, might be described as divisive. We often use the term divisive issue. If something is divisive, it means it is splitting people. It is dividing opinion amongst people. And that is one of the reasons why this is going on at the moment. There are many controversial subjects, many controversial points of view that are being expressed at the moment in this country. And this sudden rise of patriotism is, by some people, not everyone, some people see it as divisive, and they see it as creating disagreement, even hatred amongst certain groups. So What do you think? Are flags a good thing? Some people like flags. Some people feel proud to have their flag flying. In the United States, it is not unusual to see people flying the stars and stripes outside their house. It is something a lot of people feel strongly about. The word flag can also be used as a verb to highlight or mark something, to draw attention. So you might flag something. To flag something means to show a certain thing, a certain state, something that is in a certain condition. You flag something. It is often done to make something easier to identify. You flag something. You might put a flag on a warning sign to allow people to see it more easily. You flag that thing. You might flag a person because maybe they cause trouble or problems. You might flag their name so everyone can see that that person might be a troublemaker. Ooh. Or of course, it can be used in the opposite way, a way of indicating a certain thing, positive or negative, even though quite often it is used in a negative way. It is. So what about you? What do you think of flags? Do you think flags are a good thing, or do you think they divide people? Sometimes, of course, flags can be used as a way of showing power, strength, or domination. It's a very interesting subject and a very big one as well. The live chat is also very busy today, and one of the reasons why I love doing this is that on my YouTube channel, flags, nationalities are not the most important thing. The reason why we are here together is to enjoy the English language. Perhaps you are watching now and you are thinking, I really want to improve my spoken English. I want to listen to English. I want to improve my English skills. Guess what? You are in the right place. Definitely. Oh, can I say hello, Claudia? Hello to Claudia. It is nice to see you here today. Hello, Claudia. Saturino says, Mr. Duncan, you have been to the town of Curtaldo. Yes, yes. And that area is where Chianti wine is made. Yes, we went there. A wonderful place. We actually went up on a type of railway system that goes up the side of a hill called a funicular railway. Something funicular is going up sideways at a slope, and to get to the high point of Cataldo, which is in Italy, you have to take the funicular railway that goes up the side of the mountain. In fact, you may have seen it in the video that I showed a few moments ago. Paco, hello Paco. What or which city is the most beautiful, Mr. Duncan? Which is the most beautiful? Well, I'm sure there are many people at the moment watching in Italy, and maybe they have their own opinions on what part of Italy is the most beautiful. And of course, many people do agree. They say that Italy is probably the most beautiful place in the world to visit. It is certainly a popular place. That is all I can say. Hello to Freestyle Type Zone. Hello to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Duncan. You are welcome. It is no problem. Today we've been talking about flags. At the moment, here in the UK, and certainly here in England, many people have been putting flags up as a sign of patriotism. Some people are happy about that, whilst others are not happy about it. But that, as they say, is a story for another time. By the way, just in case you are wondering, the flag behind me, you can see it there, that is the Union Jack. And that is a very interesting flag because it joins together all of the main countries that are bonded together. You have the English flag, the Scottish flag, and also the Welsh flag. And all of those are joined together in that particular flag. So that is the reason why the Union Jack is different from that, just behind me there. Can you see it? So that is the England flag, and that is the Union flag. They are different flags. Lewis says, here in Europe, our politicians are trying to convince us that we are still the masters of the world. Well, once again, you may have noticed on the news, if you've been reading the newspapers or wherever you get your news from, you may have noticed that the world at the moment is a little crazy. Some people want things in a certain way. Some people want more. Some people feel that other people have too much and they want some of it. It depends, you see. It depends on your particular situation. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are taking a quick break and then we are going to take a journey on a plane. We are going to talk about flying. Have you ever been in an aeroplane? Have you ever flown to another country? Or maybe you've taken a short trip from one city to another by flying there. Something that is very popular nowadays. We will have a quick break and then we will be back with more English Addict. Don't go away.
airplane now.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is English Addict saying hello to you.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
Yes, we are having fun today. Definitely. English Addict is with you, myself, Mr. Duncan, and you watching out there in YouTube land. Have you ever travelled to another country or another place by plane, aeroplane? A lot of people like flying. Some people love travelling, flying off to some beautiful destination, flying away to their dream location, just like I was a few days ago when we went to Italy. But of course, just like everything in life, there are upsides and downsides. When we say upsides, we mean the positive things, the good things. When we say the downsides, we are talking about the bad things, the negative things. So there are two ways of expressing the feeling or the way in which we see something. Everything has an up and a down. Some things have lots of positive things about it, things that we can say are positive, and of course they might have some things that are negative. Today we are looking at flying. It is something a lot of people like to do, although not everyone thinks it should be happening. People should not be doing that. We are looking at the ups and downs of flying. Flying, taking a plane, travelling by air. Some people like it, some people don't like it for various reasons, which we will be looking at. We will look at that in a few moments. These days, many people travel by air to their destinations. Your destination is the place you are going to. That is where you will arrive. That is where you will land. The place you are going to is your destination. They travel by plane. They take a plane. So we can say that someone flies to another place. They travel by plane. They fly to another country. They take a plane. You take something. That means you are travelling on that thing. You take a plane. You might take a taxi to the local hotel. You take something. You are travelling using that type of transport. There are many reasons why this is a popular way to travel. So first of all, we are going to look at the good things, the positive things, the ups, the things that are often considered the good things, the upsides. We might also say the pros of flying. So when we talk about that, when we say the pros of flying, we are saying the good things, the positive things, the things that are good or beneficial We are using some interesting words today. Air travel is a convenient way to get from one place to another. So I think it would be fair to say that travelling by air, taking a plane, is convenient. It is the fastest transport there is. It is also most favourable as well amongst people. Whether you are going on holiday, whether you are travelling to another country, and maybe you need to do it in comfort, and you need to do it fast. Of course, quite often people will take an aeroplane. They will travel by air. So it is a convenient thing to do. Travelling by air is definitely convenient. It is quicker than driving and faster than going by sea. Now, this is something I'm going to mention later. There are some people who do not like flying. They don't like travelling by air. And there are many reasons why that might be the case. But it is quicker than driving and also faster than going by sea, normally. Although there are a lot of people who will not travel by plane, they will normally go by sea. They will take a cruise, travel on a ship. Many people can travel together at the same time. That is a very big positive of travelling by plane. Of course, your whole family can travel together in one group. Maybe your car wouldn't be big enough. It wouldn't be large enough. It would also be very slow. So one of the big benefits of travelling by plane is that lots of people can travel together. If you have a big family, maybe you are travelling with a group of friends, you can all travel together, especially if you are travelling a long distance. The whole family can travel in comfort. You are all together. So I would say that that is another reason why flying is popular. Generally, air travel is more affordable than it was in the past. I remember growing up way back in the 1970s. If anyone travelled by plane, we just assumed they were wealthy. The average person did not travel by plane. We did not take holidays abroad. We would always have domestic holidays. We would stay in our own country because it was too expensive to travel by plane. So in the past, it was expensive to travel by plane. And because of that, not many people did it. Modern planes have more room than they did in the past. So another good reason for travelling by plane. These days, you will find that aeroplanes have a lot more room. I am a person who is tall, and because of that, I have very long legs. And because of that, in the past, I always found it really uncomfortable travelling by plane. However, over recent years, aeroplanes have been redesigned to have a little bit more space in front of you. So when you sit down, it is slightly more comfortable. You have more leg room. We call it leg room. So that is basically the space where your legs will go. And one of the things that people used to criticise air travel for was the fact that there was very little space for you to sit. But nowadays there is. Of course, there are many different types of air travel. You have economy air travel, which most people use, including me. I've never travelled in first class or business class. Whenever I've travelled anywhere, I've always been in economy. And that is the most popular form of transport and also the most popular form of class on a plane. Economy is for the masses, including me. But in the past it used to be very unpleasant. But these days I've definitely noticed it myself. There does appear to be more room on the plane these days. A lot more room for you to sit and feel comfortable. For many, air travel gives the opportunity to travel to far off places. It gives them many options. It gives them lots of opportunity. So you can travel to a place that maybe in the past you would have thought impossible to travel to that place. Air travel has changed the way we all travel, how far we can go, places we can visit, people we can meet. It brings the whole world closer to you. So that is another reason why air travel is so popular. It is bringing people together, which, of course, is always a good thing. There are, of course, negative sides to travelling by plane. I'm sure you can think of some of them straight away. So there are some negative things, some things that are not so good about travelling by plane. The cons are the downsides, the negative things. So when we talk about the cons, we are talking about the negative things, the things that are not good. The downside of something. When we describe something as being the downside, it means the negative thing, the negative part of that thing. Of course, one of the big problems with travelling by air is that it is not always reliable. There are often delays and cancellations that can occur. The plane might be late taking off. You might have to wait for a very long time. Am I about to cough? I wonder. Let's just see. Just a moment. That's better. Sorry about that. I was having a slight throat drama there. My throat decided to become very irritable, which is not good when you're trying to present a live stream, I will be honest with you. So we are looking at negative sides of travelling by plane. There are many things that might cause frustration if you decide to travel by plane. There might be delays. Perhaps your plane is late arriving from the place it is travelling from, so you have to wait. Maybe there is a technical problem with the plane, so you have to wait. Sometimes, of course, you might go to the airport and find that your plane has been cancelled completely, meaning that you are stuck in the airport. You can't go anywhere because there is no plane for you to get on, unfortunately. Some people don't want to travel by plane. There are many reasons why a person might not want to travel by plane. Maybe they have a fear of flying. They are afraid of flying. They are scared of going up in the plane. It is not flying that I'm scared of. It's the opposite that I'm worried about. Although it doesn't put me off flying. I love flying. It is so exciting. I love that moment when the aeroplane starts to move along the runway and it starts to gather speed. It goes faster and faster, and you know any moment you are going to leave the ground and take off into the blue yonder. It's a wonderful feeling. So some people are afraid of flying. Other people suffer from something called air sickness. The motion of the plane as it's flying, as it's moving, can make some people feel unwell. We call it air sickness. That is why they have the little bags in front of you on the aeroplane. Just in case. Just in case. As a precaution. Some people do suffer from air sickness. Long-haul journeys can be tiring and unpleasant, and this is true. So if you are travelling by plane over a long distance, that means the flight will also be long. It will take many, many hours. I remember years ago when I used to travel to Malaysia, it would take 13 hours. From London to Kuala Lumpur was 13 hours. Sometimes 11 or 12, depending on the speed of the plane. But it would take on average around about 13 hours from London Heathrow to Kuala Lumpur. And that is a very long time to be sitting on an aeroplane. So some people don't like long journeys. We often describe it as long haul. You are travelling for a long period of time using a certain type of transport. In this case, an aeroplane. Some people don't like travelling long distances because, well, if they go from one country to another, the time will also change as well. They will find when they arrive at the other place, when they arrive at their destination, they feel very confused because the time is different. Maybe it is further ahead, or maybe it is behind the time that you had when you left your own country. So you can have something called jet lag. It is not a nice feeling. Normally it takes a couple of days to recover from jet lag, especially if you've been flying for many hours. 12 hours, 13 hours, a very long time to be sitting on an aeroplane. Some people, of course, don't like being on a plane. They feel as if everything is too small. They feel enclosed, and they might have something called claustrophobia. Claustrophobia is the fear of enclosed spaces. So if you are sitting on an aeroplane, and let's face it, they are not very big. Even if you travel on one of the large aeroplanes, you still have very little space to move around. And some people don't like that feeling. They don't like to be enclosed in a certain space. We call it claustrophobia. So that is another reason why some people dislike air travel. Many people dislike the routine of going through passport security. And yes, I will agree. I don't like it. That feeling when you get to the airport and you have to take your bags and you have to put them through the machines, and then you have to go through another area where they search your body. They take all of your belongings from your bag and they have a look. Then you have to go through another machine that takes a photograph of you. Apparently that machine that you stand between, you have to do this. You have to stand like this. And then it takes a photograph. Apparently it can see you naked. It can see everything. That's the reason why I don't like it, to be honest. Not because of the actual security check, but because maybe later people will be looking at my picture and they will be saying, oh look, look at that, look. Oh my goodness, it's so small. Blah. So that's the reason why I don't like the security check. And of course, sometimes the security guards in an airport can be quite unfriendly. Have you noticed that? Sometimes they will talk to you in a very rude way, a very rude manner. Snacks and meals are expensive at the airport. If you've ever been to the airport, if you've waited for a plane to take off and you are sitting there and suddenly you start to feel hungry, you want something to eat, you will find that the food at the airport is very expensive, and I don't like it. I once flew back from Turkey, and at the airport, because I was hungry, at the airport I had to pay £5 for a chocolate bar. It was a Kit Kat. £5. So that's the sort of thing I mean. When you are in a place that you can't escape from easily, quite often you find that the prices of everything will go up. So if you are in the airport and you feel hungry, you have no choice. You have to go to the cafe, you have to go to the place where the food is sold, and quite often it will be expensive. Not only that, but sometimes the food is not good quality. So you are paying more for horrible food. So that's another reason why I think airports and travelling by air might not be a good thing. Overpriced food. Normally there are people waiting to buy the food. Long queues. And the food might be poor quality. It won't be very nice. Getting to the airport can be frustrating. I agree. Getting to the airport. So before you even get on the plane, you have to get to the airport. So getting to the airport can be frustrating. You might have traffic delays. You might have to rush. You are having to rush. You don't want to miss the plane. You don't want to be late to the airport because you will have to rush when you get there. So people don't like rushing. If they are travelling to the airport, they don't want to rush. And of course, when you arrive at the airport, you have to find your parking space. You have to find somewhere to leave the car. Shall I tell you about the embarrassing story I had a few years ago? Mr. Steve and myself, we came back from, I think it was Corfu we went to. Or it could have been where was it? I think it was Corfu, maybe somewhere else. Anyway, that's besides the point. When we got back, we couldn't find the car. We forgot where we parked the car, so we had to wander around the car park trying to find the car. Let's just say we were not in a very good mood because of that. Not at all. Travelling with lots of other people in close proximity. Close proximity means close together. Proximity is an interesting word. The word proximity just means close, nearby. Things are close to each other. The proximity is near. Of course, your proximity can also be far away. So proximity is just the measure of that thing. But in this case, we are saying close proximity, which means we are all together in a very small space. You might be stuck with other people. Oh. That is a big problem when you get an aeroplane. When you get on the plane, you don't know who you are going to sit next to. It could be anyone. Someone on the plane might have a baby, and the baby is crying, which is okay if you are only travelling a short distance. If your flight is only 1 hour or a couple of hours, it's no big deal. However, if you are on an aeroplane for 12 hours or 13 hours and someone on the plane has a crying baby, it might seem like forever. The flight might seem like forever. And of course, the worst thing of all about going on a plane is using the toilet. Going to the toilet on an aeroplane is a horrible experience. First of all, the toilet is always small. There is never enough room. And because I'm quite a tall chap, I find that it's very hard to do what you need to do in the toilet because they are always very small. And the other thing, I used to be very afraid of flushing the toilet because when you flush the toilet on a plane, it makes that awful sound. It's horrible. I used to think sometimes that if you flush the toilet on the plane, then something would happen to the plane. So I used to be really afraid of flushing the toilet on a plane. And of course, it's okay if you are going for a number 1. But if you are going for a number 2, it's a whole different situation, I can tell you. Especially if you have a bad stomach. Or maybe you are using the toilet after someone else has been in there. So I would say definitely the worst part of travelling by air is using the toilet, going to the toilet on a flight, and maybe crying babies as well. Screaming children and crying babies. Of course, a lot of people fear. They have a fear, they have a worry, they are afraid of flying. One of the main reasons, of course, is they have a fear of the plane crashing. When they are on the plane, they are nervous, they are afraid. So if they actually go on the plane, if they have enough courage to actually sit on the aeroplane, even then they will still worry, they will be afraid, they will listen to the sounds of the plane, every sound, all of the noises, the sounds of the aeroplane. They will listen carefully. And then, of course, a lot of people are afraid of taking off and landing. Apparently, taking off and landing are the two most dangerous maneuvers. You take off. Those first few seconds when you take off in a plane are very crucial, just like the few seconds as you are landing. So a lot of people don't like those moments of time when they are taking off and when they are landing. They don't like them. So a lot of people do fear. They have a fear of the plane crashing. They don't like the thought of it. The fear, for example, of crashing into a mountain. When we went to Italy, we actually flew over the Alps. The most beautiful scenery you can imagine, flying over the Alps. Of course, you don't want to get too low. You don't want to get too close to the mountains. And some people do. They worry. They are afraid. They have watched too many movies where aeroplanes take a wrong turn, or maybe the cloud becomes thick, and in the movie the plane crashes into a mountain. However, I have good news for you. Here is something for you to consider. Air travel is the safest form of transport. It is. In fact, you have more chance of being seriously injured or killed in a car than in an aeroplane. Statistically, you are more likely to be injured or killed in a car than in an aeroplane. So there you go. My advice would be, don't worry about it. Relax. Enjoy the flight. Have a couple of drinks. That normally helps. A person might have to vomit into a sick bag. The person next to you might become unwell and they have to into a sick bag. If there is one thing that is worse than being sick yourself when you vomit, the one thing worse than that must be seeing another person being sick. It is not much fun. So that can happen as well. That can also be a negative thing about flying on a plane. Of course, many years ago, people used to smoke on planes. You would get on the aeroplane and there would be part of the plane that would be for people who wanted to smoke cigarettes, which I always thought was very strange, because if you don't smoke and you are sitting in another part of the plane, then the smoke will still reach you. I never understood that. If you sat in no smoking on a plane and other people were smoking in another part of the plane, the smoke would move around. I never understood that. But of course, these days, no one can smoke on an aeroplane. No one. Another negative thing about travelling by plane, of course, is something that has never happened to me. Losing your suitcases. Has it ever happened to you? Have you ever travelled by aeroplane and they have lost your luggage? Has your luggage ever vanished on a flight? Perhaps you go to one place and your luggage goes somewhere else. But apparently it can happen. So losing your suitcase, I would say, is a disaster. An absolute disaster. I can't think of anything worse, in fact. So I would say that that is definitely an inconvenience, losing your luggage. Imagine that. Imagine travelling miles and miles away, maybe to the other side of the world, and when you get there, your suitcases are missing. You can't change your clothes. All of the things that you took with you are missing. I can't think of anything worse, to be honest. So that is another downside, another negative thing about flying. And of course, finally, I suppose this is the one that most people are familiar with. Air travel is viewed as being harmful to the environment. Apparently, one of the worst things that people can do is fly by plane. It causes all sorts of environmental issues. The jet fumes, the fumes from the jet engines produce high CO2. It gives off, or they give off, high CO2 emissions, which of course is not good for the environment. And if you live near an airport, there is something else called noise pollution. Noise pollution is what happens when you are disturbed constantly by noise. So if you live very close to an airport, you will find quite often that there is noise from the planes going over, taking off and landing. That is one of the reasons why, if you want to get a cheap house, by the way, if you want to get a really cheap house, buy one that is near the airport, because normally they are much cheaper, because most people don't want to live there. That is the reason why. So I hope this subject has not put you off. I hope it has not discouraged you from travelling by plane, because, to be honest with you, for most of the time, travelling by air is an easy thing. It is an enjoyable thing. There may be moments of inconvenience. There might be the occasional moment where you feel unhappy, or maybe perhaps on the plane there is someone annoying you, or maybe there is a baby crying next to you. But think of the holiday. Think of your destination. Sometimes the journey is worthwhile. In fact, I would say that most of the time the journey is worthwhile. Sometimes it might not be easy, but always remember that lovely destination waiting for you at the other end. So I hope that has not put you off flying. If you are going on a holiday, if you are taking a trip on a plane, I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope everything goes well for you. That is almost it from me for today. It's almost time to go. I can't believe how quickly today's live stream has gone by, but it has. And you may have noticed that I'm actually with you longer today. 22 minutes longer. Oh, Mr. Duncan, thank you very much for that. I am back with you next Sunday, usual time, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you, and I hope you will join me then. If you want to watch the live stream again, you can watch it with captions later on. YouTube will normally process the video, so it will take a short time, sometimes up to 24 hours to process the video. But you can watch it as many times as you want. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope today's subjects have been interesting. If you want to find out more about flags, I'm sure somewhere there is information for you. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Palmyra. Thank you, Saturino. Cataldo. That is how you pronounce it. So I mispronounced it earlier, for which I apologise. Cataldo. Cataldo is the place that we visited in Italy. Thank you very much for your company. See you later. Take care of yourselves. By the way, if you are wondering what Mr. Steve is doing at the moment, he is in the garage, cleaning out the garage. I won't tell you why, but that's what Mr. Steve is doing at the moment. There is always a job to be done around the house. Thank you very much for watching. See you later. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language, saying thank you for watching. And of course I will see you next weekend, which will be September. Tomorrow is the 1st of September. A new month awaits. I hope it's a good one. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care. Ta-ta for now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.